Good morning. So I can say that just over the last half an hour or so, the rocket sirens are continuing in Israel's southern border communities. Those are communities near the Gaza Strip. Also, over the last hour, we've heard Israel's military spokesperson saying that this operation is going to last a week and more if necessary. So that's something we had a hint of already yesterday within a few hours of this operation beginning, but now that has been confirmed. Overnight, as you kind of pointed to, Israeli residents in those communities sleeping in their bomb shelters. Those are areas where residents tend to have about 10 seconds or so between a rocket siren and a rocket launch actually arriving in their areas. Over 160 rockets at this point, that's the number we have, fired towards Israeli border communities. No injuries aside from anxiety attacks and the like. Many of those intercepted by Israel's Iron Dome missile defense system, which was deployed across those areas, as happens every time in a round of conflict like this. And alongside that, also, as you mentioned, Israel continuing airstrikes right into early this morning within the last hour or so. They say they are targeting Palestinian Islamic Jihad locations, weapons manufacturing locations, rocket launching sites, and the like. And as well in the West Bank, and that's part of what makes this operation a bit different than others, is that Israel is targeting specifically the Palestinian Islamic Jihad in both areas. There were raids carried out overnight, also into early this morning. Israel says 20 Palestinians affiliated with the Palestinian Islamic Jihad, which does have a pretty significant presence there, were arrested. And to answer your question about context, as you know, there always is, and it never begins in just one day. So this operation, of course, began yesterday with the killing, Israel's targeting of a senior Islamic Jihad commander, Taisir al-Jabari, commander of the northern Gaza Strip that Israel says is responsible for multiple terror attacks against Israelis. But it does go back a week before to that arrest you mentioned, and really a few months before that, there was a spate of deadly terror attacks against Israeli civilians around March. Israel holds the Palestinian Islamic Jihad responsible for that. So ever since, they've been carrying out raids in the West Bank and essentially trying to reduce the ability of this group to carry out and plan attacks against Israelis. Whether that works, well, we have yet to see, certainly.